All right, taking a look at the Staples Center, and let's take a look at the starting lineups for this contest tonight between the Lakers and the Pacers. The visitors, the Pacers coming in, and Jermaine O'Neal, Ron Artest will be up front. Jeff Foster in the middle, trying to become the all-star center as a surprise, and Reggie Miller and Kenny Anderson, the old school backcourt there. And everything's coming up roses for Rick Carlisle with his new club. Again, 14-2, the absolute best mark in the NBA, and they just spanked the Philadelphia 76ers at home on Friday. Meanwhile, the Lake Show, and at the top of the lineup there, Karl Malone, coming off a triple-double on Friday, and he didn't even play in the fourth quarter of that contest. And also in that game against the Spurs, it was Devin George who was their leading scorer, so he's playing along with all these all-stars and future Hall of Famers. The daddy, Shaq, 25 minutes. He played in the last game, so he'll go a lot longer tonight. We want to send it out to Los Angeles, and it's Stu Lance and Paul Sunderland with the call. Enjoy the game, folks.
Phil Jackson in his 5th season. He's assisted by Jim Clemens. Frank Hamlin in his 34th year has more tenure than any other assistant coach in the NBA. Kurt Rambis, Tex Winter. The trainer is Gary Vitti. For the Indiana Pacers, who've won 8 in a row and again are 7-0 out on the road, Jermaine O'Neal up front, an all-star the last couple of years. Ron Artest will be an all-star this year. Jeff Foster in the middle, very, very active. Reggie Miller and the veteran Kenny Anderson in his 13th season in the backcourt. Their head coach in his first year, last year in Detroit, first year in Indiana, is Rick Carlisle. The Lakers at 9-0 at home. The Pacers 7-0 on the road. All conference, but all against quality opponents. Detroit, Atlanta, New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York, New Orleans, and Orlando. So as only our director could point out, Doug Freeman, something has got to give tonight. The Indiana Pacers come out in their dark blue uniforms, in their white and gold trim. The Lakers in their Sunday white uniforms. The Lakers won both meetings last year, but by very, very close margins. Robert Horry hit a shot at the buzzer, as a matter of fact, right here to win the game at home, and the Lakers control the opening tip.
Well, to see how Shaq does against Foster to start, because he's going to have Jermaine O'Neal coming from the weak side, and to start the game, Foster tries to front, Shaq gets a dunk.
I was curious to see how the Lakers would match up, equally curious to see how the Indiana Pacers would match up, and it is Shaq guarding Foster and Karl Malone, who did such an incredible job on Tim Duncan. Goes up against O'Neal to start with. He gets his first of what will be, again, many rebounds. Devin George, is he still hot? Didn't take long to find out.
Well, he's been so hot, I don't blame him. Find out in a hurry.
Devin George had a season-high 19 points, was 8 of 9, was perfect from three-point range, made both of his. Turnaround, fall-away jump shot, beautifully made by Jermaine O'Neal out of Eau Claire High School, 6'11", 230 pounds.
He does a good job of protecting that ball against Malone that time. Karl tried to strip him, but couldn't reach him.
Devin's got it, working on Artest. It's Reggie Miller guarding Kobe. And immediately Artest with a steal. He's got a 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-1 if he wants it. Foster down the lane. Play by Kobe to take the hit.
No excuse for that one. That was literally a 4-on-1, and they get an offensive foul. Kobe did a remarkable job of, one, making the guard pick it up and make a pass, and then standing his ground as Foster is coming down the floor as the trailer, so to speak. Yeah, that trailer was like a tractor trailer, ran right over the speed bump.
Very, very poor execution of a 3-on-1, 4-on-1 break. And again, Shaq being fronted, Jermaine O'Neal hanging on the weak side. The Lakers look to rotate the ball. It's going to be another easy basket. Not that, but a foul on Foster, his first. Good recognition by Malone.
Well, and right away they know that they cannot play that way, and he goes to his bench and brings in Pollard as he's trying to front Shaquille with no weak side help, because Malone has drawn Jermaine O'Neal out near the free throw line. Shaq will have his way, so they come with a bigger body to be able to play behind Shaquille and then help force the double team in that manner.
Scott Pollard getting his usual welcome. All the fans here remember that he spent the last 5 seasons with Sacramento. Shaq at the free throw line, where he struggled in his first game back as he makes the first. Just 3 of 9 on Friday night. against the San Antonio Spurs. An easy win for the Lakers.
One thing that Devin George is going to have to really be aware of in this game, as long as Artest is guarding him, it's going to be very difficult to do a lot of damage off the dribble with him. You're better served coming off the screens, catching, and shooting.
One free throw good, one missed. The Lakers lead it 3-2. Here's Kenny Anderson, spent last year with Seattle and New Orleans. O'Neal backing down, he likes the left. Oh, Shaq came over and rejected it.
Just like Jermaine likes to do, Shaq returns the favor. It comes from the weak side. Shaq's guarding Pollard, and Jermaine O'Neal doesn't pay any attention to him until, oops, too late, as it's being spiked out of bounds.
Reggie Miller floating inside of Kobe. Shaq came over to bother that. Malone tips the ball and he'll gather the rebound and throws it away. A little high pass for Payton. Here comes Anderson looking for Artest. Instead goes to Pollard. 16-footer comes up well short. Offensive rebound missed and tapped. Malone already has his third rebound. Oh, what a pass to Shaquille. Shaq running the floor hard, spins out of the play. He's all right.
Big fella saying hello to the people that get a chance to sit up close and personal under the basket. As in transition, he gets the bounce pass from Kobe. Gets fouled by Ron Artest. Goes to the floor and just spends a little extra time there. I'd like to be standing in front of that as it's coming down the middle. The big fella running the court, showing that I'm feeling a lot better. That right calf is starting to be my own right there.
Andy Bernstein, one and only Andy Bernstein, photographer here representing the NBA and working with the Lakers. Missed a couple of games with a bad back and checking to make sure Shaquille's all right as he misses the second of his first 3 free throws so far on the evening.
Shaq's only had the last graphic that was shown there. What was that? 8 games in his career under 10 points. That's remarkable consistency in the double figures. Big fella dominating on the inside year in, year out.
Looks very spry, very quick tonight, as I mentioned, as the teams were being introduced. Shaq was able to scrimmage yesterday, get some good work in, and gain some confidence that calf could hold up. Artest drives baseline, pass in the lane. Malone's got it on the turnover. Kicks ahead to Kobe. Payton was looking for the lob. Kobe shakes against Reggie Miller. Stops, waits for Shaquille. They'll get into the triangle offense. Still 15 on the shot clock. Malone around the screen, about a 19-footer, maybe a little out of his range. He misses that one.
Used a little screen, big screen from Shaquille, and that really freed him up.
4-2, the Lakers lead it. Indiana will take their time at the offensive end as Artest works his way down the lane. Artest very strong, Stu. 6'7", nearly 250 pounds.
Well, when he starts to going to the basket in that manner, though, you just have, especially if you're the second defender, and that second defender at that time was Shaquille, who didn't get there in time, you just establish your position, let his momentum take over. He'll run right over you for a turnover.
Artest averaged 15.5 points per game last year. Has been on the All-NBA defensive second team the last 2 seasons. Up to 19 points per game this year, Stu, and shooting 37% as well from three-point range.
He's third in the league in steals, and one other thing about his steals, unlike a lot of players get steals by not the man they're guarding, but off their man. But Ron Artest does a good job of picking the player that he's guarding. And he's, as I mentioned, third. He's behind Allen Iverson and Baron Davis. What a year Baron Davis has had.
Allen Iverson, who'd been bothered by the flu the last couple of games, went for 50 last night. Both free throws missed. The Lakers still lead it. Indiana, one of the best defensive teams in the league, but they also like to really hold down the tempo. Malone tips that ball free off the Payton miss, and here comes Anderson. Turns on the Jets, drops that ball back to Artest. Anderson left all alone for an 18-footer.
And he's playing, last couple of weeks, he's really been picking up his play. So that's just one of the weapons they have, one of the reasons why they're the best record in the league.
Inside to Malone, makes a tough shot against Pollard after bodying him off.
Well, the bodying him off gave separation for the shot. You get contact, create separation.
6'4", there's Artest banging inside and throws it to a gentleman who made a nice catch. Unfortunately, he's in the front row.
Well, he was open, though. I'd give Artest credit. He spotted the open man and made a nice pass to him. Next time, Ron, make sure he's wearing your uniform.
Third turnover early for Rick Carlisle's team. Isaiah Thomas, the coach in Indiana the last couple of seasons. That pass was intended for Payton. Pollard reached out and grabbed it out of midair. Anderson picked up by Kobe. Now O'Neal once again. This is Jermaine, double team. Anderson available. Malone's got the steal. Nice play, and he threw it off of Jermaine O'Neal, creating the turnover.
Jermaine finding out that you can't be too careless around Karl Malone. He's got strong hands, quick hands. He just reaches in and slaps it and throws it off the knee of Jermaine O'Neal. Another turnover. But too many turnovers to start this game by both teams.
That has not been pretty. The tempo very, very slow. The Lakers want to get out and run when they can. That's a foul on Kenny Anderson, pulling down on Payton. Easy play to call.
The beauty of having Gary Payton, he can ignite the fast break. He can run it around the perimeter, and one of the best point guards at the post-up position in the league.
Third team foul against the Lakers, who have not gone back into Shaq after having some quick and early success there. Payton all the way down the lane. Nobody comes over because they're just sticking to Shaq, and he lays it up and in.
Pollard knows what to expect. If he leaves, the big fella's probably going to get the pass and get a dunk.
8-4. Reggie Miller. All-time leader in threes taken and made, and goes inside to Jermaine O'Neal, and he's the anchor of this team, no question about it.
You know, there are teams you can, they're only going to go as far as certain players take them, and this team is going to be Jermaine O'Neal.
Hard foul taken by Jermaine O'Neal. Interesting play. Kobe coming down and setting a screen on Shaq's man.
I love anytime I can see a guard center screen. I love it because the defensive centers do not finesse screens. They try to either run it over. You don't want to switch guard center, so you end up with some excellent opportunities. The Pacers want to talk it over. They'll probably talk over that guard screen, as when we come back, we'll see if they have the answer. 7:39 to play, and the Lakers up 2 on Fox Sports Net.
West Airlines, the official airline of the NBA and your Los Angeles Lakers.
We welcome you back to Staples Center on top 8-6 and talking to the Laker coaches. A couple of things are very important tonight. Number one, tempo. Of course, the Lakers would love to run. It's not that Indiana is adverse to that, but they would rather perhaps set up in a half court, play the Lakers that way. But number one, the Lakers must hold down the bench. Harrington, Crochet, whoever comes off, that's who they think is going to be the key to this game, the bench. Shut them down, good chance to win the game. Back to you, Paul.
Free throw up and missed once again by Shaquille O'Neal and the Lakers bench, particularly with the emergence of Brian Russell, who's made 8 out of his last 12 three-pointers and 13 out of his last 16 shots overall. Derek Fisher, Kareem Rush, and Slava Medvedenko has been superb in his 3 games back.
Well, that so often happens in most games. The benches are the ones that decide it. You know, we talk about all the stars that start, but the bench is really the most important thing.
What a play. Kobe's looking for a trailer. Nice block by Pollard from behind.
That's 2 on Shaq.
2 fouls on Shaquille O'Neal. So some foul trouble, which he had similarly against the San Antonio Spurs. Horace Grant will be in the game immediately.
And that'll change things drastically as Kobe has his shot rejected by Scott Pollard. Again, Kobe still not 100% with his legs. When his legs get to 100%, he really attacks with more aggression offensively each and every time.
7:20 remaining. To Bill McDonald's point about controlling tempo, the Indiana Pacers currently #1 in the NBA in opponents scoring and 4th in field goal percentage. They're going to use the shot clock and try to eliminate any easy basket. Artest has got it, wants a screen from O'Neal, fakes right, goes left, kicks to Miller, outside a three-pointer, that comes up short, nice rebound by Devin George.
Nice job of flagging Reggie Miller by Gary Payton.
Indiana gets back defensively. Kobe attacks the basket, lays it up and in, needed a bounce and got it.
He's out the corner of his eye. He knew Jermaine O'Neal was going to come for the block, so adds a little bit of extra arch on that shot.
Jermaine currently 3rd in the NBA in block shots. Kenny Anderson down the lane. Kobe holds his ground. Nobody goes to get the ball. And then Anderson missed a very easy shot.
A 1-foot shot came up an air ball.
Payton takes it baseline, slithers through there looking for cutters outside to George, the floater in the lane. He needed a bounce, didn't get it. O'Neal's got the rebound.
Well, this is the kind of half-court defense. They like to scramble you a lot, the Pacers do.
Ron Artest from long, long range. The rebound is tipped. Payton is after it. He's bumped a little bit inadvertently. A quick whistle there. Jermaine O'Neal talking to the official. There was certainly some contact.
That's his second foul, so I know why he's talking to the official. He wants to stay out on the floor, and with 2 fouls now, Rick Carlisle has a decision to make right now. Yep, he's making it. He's going to his bench and bringing in a guy that haunted the Lakers some years ago in the playoffs, Austin Crozier.
Austin Crozier out of nearby Crossroads High School, went on to Providence, now in his 6th season, and after those World Championships won by the Lakers back in 2001, Austin Crozier signed a big money 6-year contract, but since that time, playing time has been scarce. Gary Payton up and good on the free throw.
Well, playing time has been increasing this season under new coach Rick Carlisle. So Austin's a player, though, that can really give them a big punch, or added punch, coming in off the bench.
Al Harrington is well a superb player, one of a growing group out of St. Patrick's High School in New Jersey, just 23 years of age, but already in his 6th NBA season, averaging 12 points per game, along with Anthony Johnson, a free agent pickup. He's got the basketball right now, wearing number 8. He's being bodied and bumped and fouled by Gary Payton. Johnson played last year with New Jersey. Payton's first personal foul.
Johnson's been playing really well of late, and Gary picks up one of those hand-checking fouls that he's been picking up this year.
Pacers are out of fouls with 6:05 remaining. That was the Lakers' 3rd team foul. Johnson backing up Kenny Anderson at the point. Johnson comes around the screen, nearly traveled outside to Harrington, sets his feet off the back iron. Indiana very quick. Nice rebound by Grant over the top of Crozier. The Lakers looking to run. Devin Jones. Came up just a little bit short. Kobe hustles for the rebound. He attacks, spins it up. No, rebound taken by Harrington.
That shot really brought them to their feet. That was one of his sensational moves.
Johnson now indicating that he wants to get Indiana Pacers in motion. Maybe run some clock. Pollard clears out the side. Artest wants to back down on Payton. Artest, a much bigger body for it. Knows it, wants to come over and help. Outside to Johnson, down all the way to the basket. Plays it up and absolutely blows a layup.
I can't explain that one to you because there was no one even there to any form of intimidation.
Comes up short as well, so Devins missed a 2-pointer, has missed a lob dunk, and now missed a 3-pointer after going 8 for 9 on Friday night.
You can't expect them, or the fans can't expect them to be 8 for 9 every night. That was just remarkable shooting by Devin.
13-6, the Lakers lead it. Artest kicks outside to Harrington, 6 on the shot clock. Continues down the lane, slips a little bit, and then makes a nice fall-away 10-footer.
It's one of the guys off the bench that the Lakers are going to have to really keep in check. I really feel that he's vital to their success.
Jermaine O'Neal on the sideline. Shaquille O'Neal also there, both with 2 fouls. Kobe turnaround jump shot off the back iron. And this is Indiana's basketball. Very good half-court defense. Don't allow you any fast break points. Crozier looking inside. Immediately double-teamed and dribbling out of it is Artest, but then everybody leaves him alone. Harrington along the baseline, and Horace Grant has got the rejection. Kick it ahead to Payton to Malone, lays it up and in.
That's the decision-making right there. When to pass the basketball in transition. If you're the point guard, you want to give it to a big, if possible, when all he has to do is catch it and score it. Not catch it and dribble 5 times. Just catch it and lay it in.
15-8. Horace Grant's played very well in this brief appearance. A couple of rebounds and a block shot. Maybe to save a basket. Inside to Harrington, looks at the shot clock. Goes baseline very quick. The foul was before the basket.
Well, the double team was there, but Horace allowed Harrington to go away from the double team toward the baseline, got around, and got the foul. But how did the Lakers get their last basket? It was with the defense. And defense will get you in transition, and transition will get you victory. The Lakers leading it by 7 with 3:47 to go in the first on the Karl Malone.
Pretty slow start to this game, but the Lakers will take a 7-point lead with 3:47 remaining in the first period. And a reminder for our Spanish language viewers, tune in to the SAP channel and listen to Fernando Gonzalez and Pepe Mantilla. You can hear all Laker games in Spanish as well.
Big fella, not happy about the scenario. 2 quick fouls again, sitting on the bench. So he won't be back probably until the start of the second quarter. And he's going to have to really be a little bit cautious because he knows if he gets a 3rd foul, he's headed right back to that seat.
Reggie Miller also going down, but that more due to the rotation now at this stage of his career by Rick Carlisle. Reggie not playing nearly as many minutes. Anthony Johnson now has it guarded by Payton. Artest given some room, and he can make an outside shot. Goes in the lane, the floater from the baseline, nicely made. Count the basket and give the foul to the Lakers. I think that's on Kobe.
He's very strong, and he's very good at trying at least to get a 3-point opportunity. He loves to go with his left hand off the dribble. Reach in, contact on the arm, Good concentration, three-point opportunity coming for Ron Artest and the Indiana Pacers.
Artest first basket of the game, and he does complete the three-point play. Not a good free throw shooter at 65%. Payton coming out of the backcourt. This game really has yet to take on any sort of personality with most of the stars, not most, mind you, but certainly Shaq and Jermaine O'Neal's on the sideline because of foul trouble along with Jeff Foster. Kobe's got it. One dribble, gets Artest in the air. In and out, and the foul is going to... Look at Rick Carlisle off the bench. That's a quick tee right there.
And I think he purposely got that one. And knowing Rick as I do, there have been some calls that so far to start this game he really hasn't liked. So get that early check. Now he's always under control generally. Just try to send the message to the officials that, I'm not liking some of the things you're calling here, so let's clean it up a little bit.
Rick, usually very, very quiet, mild-mannered coach on the sideline. 2 years in Detroit, was 50 and 32 both seasons, still lost his job, replaced by Larry Brown. So a little bit of the scenario there. And in 2002, his NBA Coach of the Year as Kobe misses the technical foul off the back of the iron.
One of the things we're complaining about is that Kobe jumped straight up. The momentum of Ron Artest is definitely coming toward the offensive player. Kobe does a good job of utilizing that momentum, getting the foul, missing the foul. Now he'll shoot 2 on the personal.
Kobe up and good on the personal free throws. 86% from the free throw line so far on the year. 17 points in just 30 minutes. Played the most minutes of any Laker on Friday night against San Antonio. That was very, very important for a player like Shaquille, still recovering, and Karl Malone, who got a triple-double in very few minutes in only 26.
The score was so widespread, though, especially after the first half ended. Yeah, that's off of the Pacers. Another anticipation play by Gary Payton. As soon as the guard Johnson picked it up and acted like he was going to pass it, Gary dropped off of him into the passing lane and got a hand on it.
Kobe Bryant, Horace Grant go to the sideline. Slava Medvedenko comes in along with Derek Fisher. Nice play by Gary Payton to force the 6th turnover right now by the Pacers. Medvedenko with only 3 of 7 shots. Only 3 of 7, Slava. What's going on? Inside Malone wants to face up and go to work on Pollard. Away jump shot on the way. Nice release and make by Malone.
Well, when he catches, any player that has the ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter, catches it and faces up without committing their dribble, they have the advantage.
1911, the Lakers lead. Fred Jones in his second year out of University of Oregon on the floor now wearing number 20. He's up near the top of the key. Harrington turnaround jump shot. This is a talent. Nicely made from about 15 feet.
Okay, now Devin has seen that move twice now. You've got to know how to start reacting to certain types of body movements, and maybe the next time down, Devin will be able to stop that play. 3-second violation on the Lakers, yet another turnover.
Slava Medvedenko was being fronted down in the low post by Austin Crozier and just never got out of the key. Just stood there and waited for a pass. Anthony Johnson comes out of the backcourt. 2:20 remaining here in the opening quarter. Jones high above the three-point line, gets a screen. Nicely Pollard rolls into the lane. Now Harrington on the dribble, spins back to his left, pull-up jump shot, and he's carrying them offensively right now.
Yeah, but he keeps spinning back to his left, and as a defender, you have to anticipate that and try to prevent it in the future.
Medvedenko down in the low post. Fisher coming off the screen. Both Derek Fisher, Devin George, and Kareem Rush shot the ball exceptionally well. Medvedenko looking for the lob, went over his head and straight out of bounds, and another Laker turnover.
Well, that brings Brian Russell into the ball game with the stoppage with that turnover. Out goes Devin George, and Brian Russell, another one of those players carrying a hot hand, averaging 10 points in the last 4 games in only 19 minutes of play. So he's getting some early production. Hopefully for him and the Lakers, he can do it tonight.
As long as he keeps shooting the way he is, I could care less if he comes over and stops to say hello every game the rest of the year, Stu.
Offensive foul on Harrington. Defarming Brian Russell. And Brian Russell has been known as a defender throughout his career. So he comes in and catches the red-hot Al Harrington.
Brian Russell has been rebounding and playing very solid defense as well during this hot stretch this morning. Payton with it. Wants to back down on Johnson. Spins over the baseline. Finds Derek Fisher. Sets his feet. Three-pointer. Malone battle for the offensive rebound taken by Pollard.
Boy, that was a nice look by D. Fish. And that the crowd just sense how they were trying to wish that one in.
Everything looking towards Harrington right now. Guarded by Russell. Players cut through. Jones, nice help by Payton. Kick out to Jones. One dribble baseline. Malone comes over to help on that. Three on the shot clock. Crozier looks at a three, thought he made it. Malone's got another rebound.
What help by Karl Malone on the defensive end. I mean, he really prevented most of that offense.
Look at Indiana get back defensively. Medvedenko looking at a long jump shot. That's a long two-pointer from right along the left baseline.
Austin said, I don't know if you got that kind of range. And Slava said, just watch.
He can step back farther than that, although I don't think Phil Jackson wants him to. Harrington bobbles the ball out of bounds, saves it. Does a little limbo along the sideline. Now wants to back down, turns again, same fall-away jump shot, Stu.
But you see, whatever move and fake he gives you generally, he's coming back to that left shoulder.
He's got 8 to lead the way. Right now for Indiana, they would be way down in this period without him. Lakers lead at 22-17. Russell comes around the screen, kicks left side to Payton. 8 on the shot clock. Payton gets in the lane, stops. This should be an easy ball. Rattled in and out. Payton thought he'd made it.
Traveled.
Again, Gary Payton forced that turnover, Stu.
Yep, got ready to run into the passing lane, and Al Harrington saw that was going to happen, moved his feet, traveled.
8 turnovers already for the Pacers. They average 14 on the year, 5th best in the NBA. Karl Malone goes to the sideline. A very solid first quarter, 6 points on 3 or 4 shooting. Maybe more important, 5 rebounds. 8 seconds remaining in the period. Payton's got it. Kobe's right side. Here they come on the weave. No, Payton. Nice pass. Deflected out of bounds. Medvedenko was there. 2.3 seconds left in the quarter.
I think that pass was deflected before it got to Slava, because that was a nice-looking pass attempt coming from Gary Payton.
Shaquille coming back in the game, replaces Medvedenko.
Well, this is because they're 2.3. They like to throw it directly from out of bounds to Shaquille.
And so Kobe and Brian Russell flare out to give him some foul. Wow, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, he used his left arm. He pushed off.
Easy play to call. What I'm saying I'm kidding about is him drawing an offensive foul in that situation. His 3rd personal foul.
Well, now he's done for the half. Pollard's leaning on him, so they uses the left arm and gets some separation. That's a big call right there. Big call.
1.9 remaining. A wrestling match down inside.
No time to go off.
That's a terrible play as well by Pollard. The Pacers don't touch it inbound, so the Lakers will have it at the same spot. 1.9 remaining.
I just would never have a center making that kind of a pass. You want generally a real good passer throwing the basketball inbounds, especially when he has to throw it the length of the floor.
Fisher gets in between the defenders, throws it high. Knocks it on. Just like Friday night.
Yeah, he's becoming a buzzer beater here. The last game the Lakers played against the Spurs, Derek Fisher did the same thing, and here it is again, and the Lakers are going to take it as Gary Payton having some words for the officials. Good shot by D. Fish with 1.9 as they inbound it. Fish says that's more than enough. The Lakers go up 23-17 on Fox Sports Net.
Lakers going on.
Over him. Knocks down the shot. Gives the Lakers their 23-17 lead. Lakers and the Pacers both 42% from the field. Free throws not good by either team. Pacers 1 out of 3 and Lakers 7 out of 11. The mailman 6 points and 5 rebounds in the first quarter. But the big news is Shaquille O'Neal with 3 personal fouls in the first 12 minutes.
And you wonder when Rick Carlisle will come back with Jermaine O'Neal. He's saddled with 2 quick fouls and would have a big advantage inside, ostensibly, if he can come back with some other sides as well. Anthony Johnson around the screen from Pollard will set the lineups for you. Al Harrington, who had a big first period, working down in the low post, bobbles it again momentarily, working on Russell. Step back dribble, that looked good, a little bit long. That's a foul over the top as Horace Grant continues to battle inside.
Well, when you're boxed out, I mean, you just have to concede a rebound every once in a while. And that was a good job by Horace Grant, putting a body on Scott Pollard, and Scott decided, well, I can get to it It doesn't matter. I can get to it. And he went right through the back of Horace Grant.
Brian Russell to inbound out there with Kobe Bryant, Derek Fisher, Slava Medvedenko, and Horace Grant. It's Austin Crozier, Anthony Johnson, Al Harrington, Scott Pollard, and Fred Jones stays on the floor for the Pacers. Fisher pulled a jump shot. Got in between, wasn't sure if he's going to shoot it straight in or off the backboard, and missed it there. And Johnson comes out of the backcourt.
Indecisiveness when you're shooting is bad news.
Johnson looking for Crozier. Medvedenko comes out to guard him. Crozier missed his only shot, a three-pointer. Jones jumps in the air, finds Harrington. Got to get a hand in his face, and another rebound taken on a good block out by Grant.
Well, he's missed 2 shots just facing up and shooting. The shots that he's knocked down have been off the dribble when he comes back to the left shoulder.
And here comes Jermaine O'Neal, Reggie Miller, and Ron Artest. Pass inside. Knocked to the floor as Russell kicks it outside to Grant. Nice tip by Russell. It goes to Pollard, who's fouled by Medvedenko.
Scott Pollard caused the pass from Brian Russell. Bryant had intentions of shooting that ball, but at the last minute, knowing that Pollard would probably get a blocked shot, decided to pass to Horace Grant, who couldn't convert the shot.
First personal foul on Medvedenko. 1 team foul apiece on both the Lakers and the Pacers. And back in is Jermaine O'Neal. So far in the game, just 4 points, taken 3 shots, a couple of rebounds. Was only able to play the first 7 minutes of the game because he picked up 2 personal fouls. Miller's got it, now guarded by Kobe. Kenny Anderson will also be back in on the next dead ball. Here comes Harrington, gets right around. Medvedenko is tripped up. Harrington's too quick for Slava, huh, Stu?
Yeah, especially that position on the floor. When there was a clear side, and Al just one dribble is by Slava, gets pushed, picks up the foul.
Harrington was looking to get to the free throw line, but it was called beforehand. So Slava picks up his 2nd personal foul in the span of about 15 seconds, and Ron Artest back in, now guarded by Brian Russell. Kenny Anderson, as I mentioned, back in the basketball game at the point. And they want to go down through Jermaine O'Neal, working on Horace Grant. Russell will get back in to help if he can. He let the shot clock wind down. I kept looking for him to make a quick move, Stu, and he just kept waiting.
And I know why he was waiting. He was waiting for the cutter to go ahead through so that he could take that double team man. And the double team man just hung around long enough to create the 24-second violation.
10 turnovers already by Indiana.
Yeah, but they only trailed by 6 points, so they're doing all right considering.
Fisher looking inside now to Kobe. Has the side cleared. Back to the basket, working on Miller. Working on left-handed dribble, pushed off a little bit. Loose ball comes out to Medvedenko. And Kobe has it stolen away. Going to be an easy one for Reggie.
The turnovers have been the story in this game. But you mentioned 10 by the Pacers. The Lakers now with 7 of their own. So not a clean first half by any stretch.
I imagine much more of a slugfest, if you will, in basketball terms, with Indiana coming in, really wanted to slow the tempo down. Medvedenko steps back and hits another shot, this one on Harrington.
Slava said, forget dribbling, and I'm just going to catch it and shoot it. Al Harrington could do nothing about it.
Anderson with it, 9:30 remaining in the first half. The Lakers lead is 25-19. Artest, one dribble around to screen. The ball's knocked loose. He goes to get it. Going to go down inside in the lane, and he travels, and yet another turnover by Indiana. Sloppy game.
Yeah, the two best records in the league, and the way they're playing right now. And again, you know, with Shaquille on the bench, it really takes a little bit of your momentum away. But no excuse for all the turnovers. The Lakers don't have but one starter on the floor, and that's Kobe Bryant. So 4 of the Lakers starters getting some valuable rest, one of which Shaquille, he doesn't want to be rested right now.
Oh, dangerous pass. Kenny Anderson was hanging around. Left Fisher, and Fisher misses that. The ball is tipped. Good play by Grant to keep it alive to Russell. The Lakers with a fresh 24. Into the corner to Medvedenko, and Harrington showing him a little more respect. Slava kicks it out to Fisher, gets away from the defender, stays with the dribble. Nice pass to Medvedenko. 17-footer comes well short. Rebound taken by O'Neal.
He almost steered that one. He was open, but he still didn't just relax and shoot the basketball.
Been a very uneven game, very little flow. Nice move by Harrington along the baseline. Draws the contact, no foul called, and still lays it up and in.
He'll get a delay of game because after he scored, he touched the ball coming through the net and didn't allow the Lakers to grab it out of the net and inbound it in a hurry.
Al Harrington now leading all scorers with 10 in just 9 minutes of play. He's already taken 9 shots, Stu. And Indiana's needed it all. I'd keep going to him.
They probably will, at least until Jermaine O'Neal can get on track.
Fisher, nice pass to Grant. 8 on the shot clock. Kobe comes into the low post. Head fake, Artest is on him. Kobe spins. Back inside, uses the left hand. No good help by O'Neal. Rebound taken by Harrington. Lakers lead it by just 4, 25-21. Inside to O'Neal. Nice pass once again to Harrington away from Medvedenko, and the whistle is called from outside.
Well, it's all about angles, and 2 of the officials did not have the angle to see the push underneath on Al Harrington. The 3rd official on the perimeter had a better view. We've got a timeout, and the Laker lead down to 4 on Fox Sports Net.
And welcome back, everybody. The look at the Lakers huddle. They lead at 25-21. The Pacers and Lakers, the 2 top records in the NBA. Look at the rest of that group.
Sacramento's number 3 on that list, followed by the Pistons, tie between the Mavericks and the Hornets. Denver. Are you kidding me? Denver. You'd have lost the farm if you'd have bet on that one before seeing it. I'm telling you.
And congratulations to them. Jeff Bezdelik, their coach, Carmelo Anthony, among others. Little Earl Boykins doing a wonderful job. That team is playing pretty good basketball. Al Harrington, almost all of the offense right now for the Indiana Pacers. He's knocked down that free throw. He's already got 11, I think, Stu.
Well, he's 5 out of 9 from the floor for 11 points, and the rest of the starters, or the starters for that matter, 5 out of 11 for 11 points. So now with that second conversion, he's got 12. So he's outscored the starters by himself.
And Karl Malone comes back on. 8 minutes remaining in the half. Lakers lead at 25-23. Kobe dribbles down into the corner, guarded by Artest. Kobe spins it up top to Russell. Russell thought about the 3. Kobe now on the curl. Look at him. Oh, what a make. Kobe got into the lane, and everybody in a blue jersey just closed on him, and he still knocked it down.
Well, that's hang time. I mean, they were there. They closed the door on him, but he has a special key that can open up the door. 2 defenders, just wait a little while, Kobe. Wait till they go to the floor. You stay in the air. Get the foul, the basket, 3-point opportunity. Lakers go up by 4.
That foul was on Kenny Anderson. And Kobe again in a very good rhythm at the free throw line. Needs a bounce and gets that. He missed his first, a technical foul shot attempt. Been perfect since then. Anderson now coming out of the backcourt. The Lakers 28, the Pacers 23. Fisher bothering Anderson. Reggie Miller with it now. Kobe giving him some room, but won't give him too much. And here's Harrington once again. Harrington down inside, working on Malone, and an offensive foul is called.
You're supposed to use your body and your shoulder to get some contact for separation, but he used a little too much body that time, and he got caught. The mailman's holding his position, and when he turned in, the separation came because of the
Good back cut by Kobe. Sets up Brian Russell, who makes another shot. Good ball movement that time by the Lakers.
Well, when you're playing a good defensive team, you have to move the basket. You should move it anyhow, but especially when you're playing a real good defensive team.
30-23, 7-10 remaining. Looking for Miller. Comes around a couple of screens. Sets up in one of his favorite spots. Kobe's ahead. Russell thought better of it. And here comes Fisher pushing the ball out of the backcourt. Fisher takes it right side. Malone being fronted by Harrington. Outside. Again, looking inside is Horace Grant. Now at the pinch post. Kobe's got it. 10 on the shot clock. Picked up again by Artest. Indiana, a good defensive team. There's one of those on-ball steals we were talking about. The ball's on the floor. Artest got the steal, and a foul is called.
Artest with the steal. Kobe just about get the steal back, but then they call a foul in transition on Brian Russell, and that stopped everything as Kobe picks up his dribble and the quick hands of Ron Artest. I mean, he's all over you, making a strong. If he's not an all-star this year, they ought to do something in the Eastern Conference about the vote.
He will be putting up wonderful numbers, and I'm not saying they'll get any better. He's already averaging 19 points per game. And certainly rebounding well and among the league leaders in steals. Here's O'Neal backing down. Kobe comes over to help. Nice make, turning from left back to the baseline to make that shot over Grant.
Well, as long as the Lakers can maintain this a little bit of a cushion, 4, 5, 2, even to that degree in the first half, they don't have to worry about inserting Shaquille back into the game with the 3 fouls. There's still 6:27 left to go in this half, though, so they've got some good basketball to play, and they'll have to do it on Fox Sports Net.
And Sunday, Lakers and Pacers.
Coming this February, Matt Kenseth looks to defend his points title as the world's best drivers return to Fox for 17 weeks of high-speed thrills, bumper-to-bumper racing, and excitement as NASCAR returns to Fox this February. Paul Sunderland back with Stu Lance. The Lakers led it 23-17 after one. Shaquille O'Neal 2 fouls early and then picked up a third with just a couple of seconds remaining in the first period. As you said, Stu, we won't see Shaq until the second half.
Hopefully, for Phil Jackson and the Lakers' point, they won't see him until the second half. That means that they maintain their head above water with him on the bench. This season versus last season, the Pacers have improved defensively. They're first in points allowed this year. They were 13th last year. I know, early into the season, but that's where you'd like to be right now.
And indeed, in some of those numbers, most of their opponents after the Eastern Conference gathered on that jump shot, came up well short. Miller with a rebound. Devin George on the sideline. Gary Payton comes back in. Kobe guarding Artest. The offensive weapon, O'Neal down inside, almost deflected away and stripped away by Malone, but made by O'Neal.
Yeah, once he gets it past his waist, then there's no challenge on the shot. Karl is just really good at stripping the ball before you get it past your waist.
30-27, and Indiana, one of the few teams that fronts a lot. Horace Grant, backdoor cut, uses the left hand, lays it up and in.
Are you kidding me? Horace Grant backdoor. I mean, and did it to perfection. That was a real nice play by Horace.
First basket by Grant inside to O'Neal again. Harrington getting a little blow, at least in terms of carrying all the offense. Nice play by Grant, deflecting that ball off the dribbling Jermaine O'Neal.
Did a good job of bending his knees, he being Horace Grant. As Jermaine O'Neal was dribbling, 6'11" or so, the ball has to bounce rather high if you're not bending over, and Horace bent his knees and deflected.
Miller comes off a screen, picked up by Kobe on the switch. Kobe goes on to Harrington. O'Neal with 4 seconds on the shot clock took a three-pointer. Harrington beats Kobe to the offensive rebound, kicks it outside, and on the pass-off was fouled by Brian Russell. That'll be free throws coming to Indiana.
Well, Jermaine O'Neal took that three-pointer. The shot clock was down to 3, and then the rebound by Harrington. Brian Russell trying to strip him of the ball, hit him across the arm. And that's sending Harrington to the free throw line. He has been the story offensively for the Indiana Pacers. Leading scorer in the game with 12, and he's looking to add to that.
A couple of years ago was on his way to a stellar season, Stu, when he was only 21 years of age, averaging 12 points, about 6.5 rebounds, and then he tore his ACL in his right knee in March in a game against Boston and was out for the remainder of the year, but has come back full strength and then some as Brian Russell goes to the sideline and Devin George comes back on. Harrington makes 1 of 2.
Well, the Lakers now have 4 of their starters on the floor, and Gary Payton on the floor with Kobe, Devin George, and Karl Malone, and Horace Grant obviously taking the spot of Shaquille O'Neal.
Devin George has yet to score. Payton with a nice pass to Horace Grant. That's short all the way, no question. Rebound taken by Artest. The Lakers shooting it now at 38%. Indiana at 44. Artest has a ball poked away by Kobe. What a battle that is. 2 wonderful defenders. That ball deflected, and Kobe forces the turnover by Indiana.
Well, Kobe really making a bid for that defensive honor, all the defensive honors this year, as he was harassing Ron Artest, forced that turnover. Lakers deal with a 4-point lead and 4:49 left to play in the half. So with Shaquille in foul trouble, obviously they haven't pulled away, but they haven't been overtaken either.
Malone's got it at the pinch post. Kobe clears to the other side. Malone squares his feet and makes a 17-footer. What a nice shot.
They got a double foul. Artest doing a real good job of looking the other way. What is he doing? Counting to 10 to keep his composure as Gary Payton and Ron Artest got tangled up under in the key area. Action away from the ball is always good. Gary and Ron Artest all up around Gary's throat. Gary says, "Oh man, what are you doing? Get off me!" So the double foul was called.
That's the 3rd personal foul on Artest, too. That's a big call. 4:35 remaining. And obviously we won't see him for the rest of the half as well. Payton, that was his 2nd personal.
Yeah, but he didn't. He got to play in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah.
We didn't see Shaquille for all of this. So fouls have been the story for both teams, and the Lakers have really been, I think, hurt the most.
Harrington looks out to Reggie Miller. Comes over and sets a screen. Miller a couple of threes. Nobody comes in. Yeah, automatic. Nobody came out to help. That's like when he was out here practicing an hour and a half before the game.
There's some people you can leave to go, but don't leave Reg.
Malone's got it, looking inside. There's a wrestling match going on, that time between Fred Jones in his second year again out of Oregon with Kobe Bryant.
Fred Jones at about 6'2", and Kobe listed at about 6'6" or so. Obviously a little bit of a size advantage in the post, and Kobe trying to take advantage of that fact.
So Devin George will inbound. It's the third team foul against the Pacers. Horace Grant out there again for Shaquille O'Neal. If you're just joining us, been in foul trouble, picked up 3 in the first period. Foul on the shot clock. Kobe attacking, plays it up and in. Jermaine O'Neal had to let him go.
Yeah, Jermaine's got those 2 fouls. He doesn't want to join Ron Artest on the bench with 3 before the halftime ends.
Rick Carlisle calling out the set. Johnson comes around to screen. They want to go back inside to Jermaine O'Neal. Harrington on the perimeter now. He'd been on the low post for a long time. Here comes O'Neal, turns. He shoot that left-handed. Did Horace Grant get a piece of that? Nice play defensively.
If he didn't, he did a remarkable job of just D'ing up, because that shot was short. Jermaine O'Neal is complaining about the foul, and Horace Grant using all that experience about bodying up in the post. And we talk about Horace Grant. He's been playing because Shaquille's played a total of 5 minutes.
Payton double team down in the low post. Good closeout by Johnson. And a better pass inside. Oh, Horace Grant got a third. They gave that foul to Jermaine O'Neal when he should have just been putting his hands in his pocket. So now he's got to go to the sideline.
Here's the third. He's not happy about it. Go straight to the bench, Jermaine, or you'll be picking something out of your wallet, and it'll be money. 36-30, the Lakers on top of the Indiana Pacers on Fox Sports Net.
Really been the big story is Gwen Stefani sitting courtside, lead singer for No Doubt. Saw them here when they opened for the Rolling Stones.
Well, Jermaine O'Neal goes to the bench now with his 3rd foul. It brings Austin Crozier back into the contest. So Horace Grant will be shooting 2 to see if he can match the biggest lead of the game for the Lakers, and that is 8.
Horace Grant will get to the free throw line out there with Malone, Devin George, Gary Payton, and Kobe Bryant for Indiana. Jermaine O'Neal obviously had to go to the sideline as Horace Grant has played well, and during the course of those couple of games, Stu, when Shaq was hurting and he played 27, 28, 29 minutes, also played very, very well.
It's after Shaq's job. There's no secret to what he's trying to do. What's that job?
And makes both free throws. So Horace Grant, some rebounds, a couple of block shots, and he's scoring as well. Foul trouble for both teams, and obviously Shaquille O'Neal down with Jermaine O'Neal and Ron Artest. That's huge for Indiana, as it is for the Lakers. Jones comes around a couple of screens, finds some space, kicks it outside. Anthony Johnson, the head fake, gets inside. Payton outside to Crozier. 7 on the shot clock. Spin move. Good defense by the Lakers, and he forces up a wild shot.
Well, he wanted to spin baseline. Kobe was there and stopped that one.
Payton down inside. It looked like that ball went off the leg of one of the Pacers, and it did. 18 on the shot clock.
Gary, always the floor general, barking out instructions to everybody. His teammates, officials, anybody within earshot.
So Devin George will inbound. Horace Grant, Austin Crozier bumping and grinding a little bit down in the low post. The officials try to put an end to that. Good luck. Been a very physical game so far. Kobe's got it. Wants to take advantage of Jones. The size advantage is being patient.
That was a 5-second count coming there. The old Charles Barkley rule.
Kobe continues to back down, looking for cutters. Indiana's defense sets things up. And Devin George makes him pay.
Kobe just set that up. I mean, he just waited, and he waited. He said, I know they're coming soon. I'm just going to wait to see which man comes to double team. And he found Devin George.
First three-pointer for either team in the game made by Devin George. Miller, well, Reggie might have something to say about that, and he does.
Well, screen was there, but Devin tried to go under. You must force Reggie over the top. You must trail him over the top, force him to help.
Reggie now has 7. Payton goes baseline. He's double team, running out of real estate, threw it into the bottom of the board, and Indiana will have it.
That's a good example of why teams force baseline, because there's just very few passing lanes open to you.
Devin George going to be called for a foul, holding on Reggie Miller as he tried to move away from the ball. So that'll be more free throws coming. 1:51 remaining. Both teams out of fouls. The Lakers lead it 41-33. Devin George's first personal foul.
Why are we taking free throws? I mean, just give the Pacers the 2 points and let's go the other way.
With good reason. Reggie Miller has the highest current free throw percentage among all active players at 89%, as he's good on the first two. Coming up at halftime, we'll send you to the Southern California Sports Report studio for the Jack in the Box halftime report with Barry LeBrock and Jack Haley. Reggie also 5th all-time among NBA players, Stu, in free throw percentage.
I'm trying to remember the last time he missed. I believe it was 1999, but I'm not absolutely certain of that.
I saw that on the news.
Career shooter from that spot this season. 86%. You mean he's missed some free throws this year?
Well, he's now 27 out of 31, so he's missed a grand total of 4. And the Lakers' lead is 6 at 41-35. 1:45 remaining in the first. Foul trouble the story. Kareem Rush comes back on, and Kareem the last couple of games, like many of his teammates, been shooting it exceptionally well. Payton wants to work in the low post against Johnson. Payton turns, fall away jump shot, came up way short. Crozier's got the rebound.
Trying to bank that one from that angle.
Anthony Johnson expressed down the lane. He'll try to lay it up, and is fouled going to the basket, so it'll be 2 more free throws.
Well, the Lakers went up by what, about 10 or so? Just a minute or so it seems to go. And 2 free throws coming here. It could be a 4-point game if he's successful on both.
Well, Devin George made that long 3. Reggie came right back and answered with a 3 of his own, and then a couple of free throws. And then off the miss by Gary Payton led to the run out by Anthony Johnson. Johnson out of the College of Charleston in his 7th season, played very well for New Jersey, Stu. I was surprised that they did not re-sign him, but Indiana had a little more room under the cap, and here he is, and been a very, very important player for their team so far this year.
47% from three-point land, so he's obviously playing quite well from that distance.
And makes one and misses one, and Malone's got another rebound, and Karl sprints into the front court.
The way Karl knows how to play. No loafing with Karl Malone.
Kobe's got it, comes out to Kareem Rush, 1:12 remaining in the first half. Grant comes over to just above the pinch post, out to Kobe. Working on Jones, should be able to take him down inside, gets in the air, the jerseys collapse. Here comes Kareem. Going from 19 feet, and he's got it.
Just kept going to the floor, and Kobe sets him up for an easy one, or an open one, I should say, and he knocks it down.
And with that one, Kareem Rush has made 12 out of his last 15 field goal attempts over 2.5 games.
He was in a stretch where he couldn't make any shots as Kobe picks up a foul running through the screen, as Reggie, one of the toughest in the league ever, playing without the ball. Kareem Rush was the recipient of a good pass from Kobe to double team. Reggie Miller leaves Kareem, and the rest is history. As Kareem says, "Don't leave me. I'm a young head, but I can stroke it."
Kobe Bryant for 3 assists. It seems like a lot more than that, although the Lakers do have only 16 baskets, and it's certainly not been a high-scoring affair so far. As Al Harrington, who was knocked to the floor and then helped up very nicely by Kobe Bryant, will shoot a couple of free throws.
Well, Harrington has been the story for them. We talked about it a little earlier. The guy is off the bench. Well, could be a starter, I guess. But he's got 14 points. He's played about 17 minutes. He's got 5 rebounds. One thing he better look to do. Come on, Al, pass the ball. You haven't got an assist in this game.
I don't think they throw it to him, Stu, expecting it to come back out. Makes one, misses one. So Johnson made one and missed one, and Harrington follows suit. 40 seconds remaining in the half. The Lakers' lead is 43-37. Kobe again working against Johnson on the switch, now picked up by Miller. Here comes Kareem rushing. He traveled. Tried to throw it up, got off balance, a little out of control, and the Lakers turn it over for the 10th time.
10 turnovers for the Lakers, 13 for the Pacers. So we got 23 in the first 24 minutes. Not a clean ball game at all. When you have turnovers like that, you can't develop any kind of rhythm.
Well, let's hope the second half has a lot more flow to it, a more attractive game, and some of the stars can stay on the floor. That means staying out of foul trouble. Artest has 3, Jermaine O'Neal has 3. Shot clock down to 5. Game clock about 5 ticks behind. Here's Miller. Pass into the corner to Crozier. Good help by Grant. Not once but twice. 24 seconds. Shot clock violation. Wave off the basket.
They did a good job of Wade. They were trying to run the clock down as far as they could on their end.
Right.
They did a good job of it, but the Lakers did a better job of help defense. Horace Grant stepping out and causing the violation, as the Lakers will now have possession of the ball with 6.5 seconds to go in the half. Kevin George comes in for Horace Grant. Karl Malone also goes out as Brian Russell returns, so small ball right now.
Jeff Foster came back on. He picked up 2 personal fouls in the first minute and a half. Payton looking for somewhere to go. Finds Russell.
Well, they hit a basket at the end of the first. They hit one at the end of the second. This one was, I thought, was a lot closer than Derek Fisher's in the first, so they will review it. But that's the way you like to end the quarters, when you can get not only a shot made, but the absolute last shot. Woo, that was pretty by Brian Russell, and I'm telling you something. His stroke is on. He is feeling it, and feeling it well.
Give the basket to Brian Russell. The assist to Gary Payton is at the half. The Lakers lead the Pacers 46-37. Now let's turn it over to Barry LeBrock and Jack Haley for the Jack in the Box halftime report.
Welcome back to our NBA TV studios. I'm Andre Aldridge. It's halftime at Staples Center with the Lakers leading the Pacers, and the score is 46-37 in favor of the home club. Let's take a look at the first half stats of this contest, and your high score for the visiting Pacers, who bring a 14-2 record into the contest. Al Harrington with 14 points so far. The Pacers averaged 14 turnovers a game this season. Well, they didn't take care of the ball so much in the first half of this one, already with 13 turnovers so far, so they need to do a little bit better with that, but they trailed by 9 at the first half. Again, Lakers on top, 46-37. When we return on NBA TV halftime, well, we'll get you caught up on tonight's only other game, where the Nets are in Sacramento taking on the Kings. Plus, we'll have first half highlights of the game you're watching. So keep it right here. We're back with more in just a moment. One other game in action finds the Nets in Sacramento taking on the Kings. The Kings have won 16 in a row at home dating back to last season. They're 9-0 at Arco this year. Nets are in the midst of a 5-game Western swing that has seen them go 2-1 after a loss to Portland Friday night. So we go to Sacramento. Byron Scott, a former assistant of Rick Adelman, taking a look at things there. First quarter, Doug Christie to Peja Stojakovic. A long three, nothing but net. He had 32 threes coming into this contest, would have 35 by halftime. And then Darius Songaila hands off to Peja, and Peja, man, look at the Kings shooting over 50% in the first half, while the Nets shot just 29% in the first half and trailed by 32. All right, they got the break going there. J. Kidd to Kmart. 72-52, though. They were still down by 20. And then Brad Miller to Vlade Divac to Mike Bibby. They're still shooting and making threes. And the Kings up a big way, 89-73 in the fourth. And the game you're watching, Lakers entertaining Jermaine O'Neal and the Pacers. First quarter, Lakers on the run. Kobe Bryant passes to Gary Payton, who finds the mailman, Karl Malone. Karl with 8 points and 9 rebounds in the first half. He's coming off a triple-double on Friday against San Antonio. And then Al Harrington dribbling, spinning, hitting the jumper. L.A. was up 19-15. 1.9 seconds left in the first quarter. Plenty of time for Derek Fisher to hit the long jumper. L.A. up 23-17 after one. Bryant, second quarter, hanging, scoring, 28-23. They're up by 5. And then a little fun now. After you do a little hanging jumper, well, you go in and drive, and well, Jermaine O'Neal afraid of getting a third foul. He got it anyway there in the first half. They're up 46-37. Folks, let's take a look at the NBA TV game schedule for the next 2 nights. Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Memphis in Boston taking on the C's. And then Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll be in Denver for the Nuggets and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Guess what? We have a game on Wednesday night as well. Lakers and Spurs in San Antonio. Tell you about that in a couple of moments after a brief timeout. Wednesday night in San Antonio, the Spurs will renew their rivalry with the Los Angeles Lakers. What's so intense about this rivalry? Well, Spiro Ditas tells us.
Real chance to go out there and play like it. All right, 1, 2, 3, play!
The rivalry between the Spurs and Lakers has been one for the ages. Since 1999, one of the two teams has walked away with the NBA crown. With so much on the line, there's bound to be some bad blood.
If you ask me, is there bad blood? No question. They're not our favorite team, and we're not their favorite team.
San Antonio was a team when they won. They embarrassed us.
In '99, the Spurs swept the Lakers, and after it was over, they talked a little trash.
Form is shut down. I feel great because the form is shut down for the last time.
San Antonio would steamroll to the championship and beat the Knicks in 5 games.
And the pride of the great Lone Star State are NBA champions. They are the first ABA team to win an NBA crown.
In 2000, it was the Lakers who celebrated, but this time without having to face the Spurs. In 2001, the rivalry was renewed and was hotter than ever.
We definitely wanted to come back and show them that we're the champs and we deserve to be the champs, and this is why we deserve to be the champs.
Shaq comes outside to Bryant. He's open. He shoots for 3. Good. Kobe Bryant connecting. They have dealt a severe and perhaps fatal blow to the Spurs championship hopes.
LA would go on to win again, and this time it was Shaq who had some things to say.
First of all, forget what I said last year at the parade. I'm going to give you a few seconds to go back. Don't be sending trophies home, and we're going to get another one next year. I told you I was going to get another one. The big I told you so.
In 2002, Tim Duncan hoisted the MVP trophy, but it wasn't enough to slow down Kobe and the Lakers.
Kobe bringing the shot clock down. Lost the dribble. Picked up by Fisher. 5 on the shot. And here comes Fisher. Attacks the pull-up jump shot. No short. Bryant underneath. Back good. Kobe Bryant. And the Lakers have come from 10 back. It is hard to believe what we're seeing here today.
LA seemed to have the Spurs number as they went on to win their 3rd title in as many seasons.
3, that's 3. That's the triple right there.
They are a team for the ages.
That's right. They're going for 10.
In 2003, Duncan was once again the regular season MVP, but this time he carried that star power into the postseason.
Right now, it's a steady diet of Tim Duncan being fed to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Tim Duncan is on a mission.
We're seeing a performance tonight. This is what MVPs do.
Tim Duncan just continues to go wild.
They did that normal switch, putting Shaq on Timmy. And when Timmy went to work on him, everybody just followed suit. And I don't think Shaq or the Lakers were ready for that.
Tony Parker takes a 3, and Willis slams it home. Throw it down.
Derek Fisher and the rest of the Lakers knows that it's over. The San Antonio Spurs are headed to the Western Conference Finals, and the Lakers' run at the top of the NBA is over.
This is going to go down as the greatest victory in the history of the Spurs organization.
We beat them, and saw the way they left the court, and it was just a great feeling. It was a great feeling to beat them.
Been put down by these guys last couple of years, so that in itself was big for this team.
San Antonio rode off into the sunset in 2003, and so who will it be in 2004? Well, your guess is as good as ours.
Don't miss this special presentation on Wednesday night. We've got the Spurs and Lakers from the SBC Center. We've got more coming your way right now after a brief timeout. Keep it here on NBA TV. All right, a quick programming note. Don't forget to catch Virtual GM with Rick Kamla tonight, 1 a.m. Eastern. You can see this every single night. And Kamla will set up his all-matchup team for tomorrow night and have you on everything happening on this Sunday in the NBA. So be sure to do that. And we want to get you back to Los Angeles for the exciting second half of action between the Lakers and the Pacers. So we're going to send it out to Sunday Paul Sunderland and the best-dressed announcer in the business, Stu Lance. Enjoy the second half.
He's with assistant coach Jim Clemens.
Thank you so much. All right, Clem, you said not pretty. I would say ugly, but you guys are up. Tell me the key to the third quarter.
Well, they come out with a lot of energy in the third quarter, and I know they're going to try and do that this quarter. But they've got foul difficulties. How much they can do it, we have to sustain that drive and that push and work ourselves into the game.
Can you push the tempo, do you think, on them?
Well, we don't need to necessarily continue to push the tempo. We need to take advantage of the opportunities that they're giving us. We miss layups, we miss free throws. If we just slow down a little bit and understand what we need to do and put it away.
Go put some makeup on it, make it a little prettier.
Okay.
All right, Coach. Coach Jim Clemens, let's go back upstairs.
That would be real nice if they could take advantage of all the opportunities they've had. But he mentioned that the Pacers have foul trouble. There's some foul trouble on his end of the floor as well, as the big fella has 3 himself. Kobe leading the way with 9, mailman with 8. Off the bench, Brian Russell joined Shaquille with 5, and Shaq got his in only 5 minutes, it seems. Al Harrington leading all scorers with 14. So they have to contain Al Harrington when he comes in off the bench. And obviously they've got to keep Shaquille on the court.
Starting unit out there for the Lakers: Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, Devin George out there with Gary Payton and Shaquille O'Neal. Who's going to pick up the 4th personal foul first? Will it be Jermaine O'Neal, or Ron Artest, or Shaq?
Well, with Foster, if Foster stays on the floor, he has the ability of drawing charges and things. So Shaq has to be careful, but Shaq can play with Foster.
Inside to Artest, away from George. That ball deflected by Foster. Good defense by Devin George on the initial stop, and the Lakers have it quickly.
Ron Artest good at using his left hand under the basket, but he was so far under the rim he couldn't even find the basket.
Kobe out on the perimeter above the 3-point line, going inside to Shaquille, working against Foster. Some contact there. The rebound taken by Artest.
I still think, again, guys like Foster, Shaq should introduce the face-up to him.
Kenny Anderson looking for a basket in the first half. Shaq's got the rebound off the Anderson miss off the front of the iron.
Both teams coming out a little tentative. The shot that Shaq took wasn't really his shot.
Nice play on the entry pass initially coming to Karl Malone, so he'll shoot a couple of free throws. That foul on Foster coming over to help, and he quickly picks up his 3rd 53 seconds into the second half.
Well, I mean, he's got 3, but he only played 2 minutes in the first half, so he's not vital, it seems, to Rick Carlisle's attack here against the Lakers. But as I talked about him having the ability to draw the charge, he tried to do that on the weak side from Malone and gets called for the block.
Also has the ability, we were talking before the game, Stuart, very active on the offensive backboards, can make a jump shot from 15 feet. And if he's out there ordinarily in the rhythm of the game, can make enough jump shots maybe to draw Shaq out, as Malone continues a very solid stretch at the free throw line. He's now made 10 in a row and 29 out of his last 33.
Well, Foster also utilizes very, very good speed up and down the court. I'm surprised that they haven't tried to, when he's been on the floor, just run as fast as he can go. Might get some benefits.
Down inside to O'Neal, back very good on the left hand. Easy play to call as Malone reached in, trying for the strip, and picks up the personal foul.
There are times when you try for that strip, you know you're going to get the foul. You really got to hit hard on the hand, on the wrist. You know, get your foul's worth there. Send the guy to the free throw line. His thumb is hurting, wrist is sore, he's shooting up bricks.
And only the first personal foul against Karl Malone. That bodes well for the Lakers, given the foul trouble of Shaquille O'Neal and the amount of time and how important Jermaine O'Neal is to Indiana. Free throw in the air. Again, Jermaine O'Neal came into the league as a 17-year-old, and ironically the 17th overall pick by the Blazers back in 1996, traded before the 2000 season for Dale Davis. And has become a star in Indiana. Both free throws up and good, an all-star the last 2 seasons. The Lakers lead is 47-39.
See if they still try to go on the inside and what Shaquille does about Foster's ability there.
Shaq getting down in the lane. That's goaltending. Easy play to call. Jermaine O'Neal coming from the weak side, slaps it out of bounds, and Shaq now has 7.
Well, when Shaq has that many dribbles, they have trouble anyhow. But if you give him that many dribbles by himself, you have no chance. They're going to have to collapse on him a little sooner.
Anderson on the perimeter looking down to Artest now, who's immediately double teamed. Payton comes over to help. 9 on the shot clock. Cross-court pass out to Anderson. O'Neal's got it. That's not what they want out of their offense, but they'll settle for that. An 18-footer made by Jermaine.
Yeah, Jermaine can shoot that 15-footer or so, and he's sitting there facing up. The Lakers trapped on one side. The ball was swung to the other side, and they couldn't get there in time.
O'Neal now with a dozen. Backdoor pass to Shaquille, who throws it down. Perfect pass by Devin George.
Well, Jermaine O'Neal very careful about, he was in the vicinity. He thought about going up and challenging, but he said, I have 3. I don't need that 4th quite yet.
The lead back up to 10. The largest lead of the game for the Lakers was 11. Indiana turns it over once again. That's their 15th. Payton out of the backcourt looking for Malone. Malone fakes the handoff, spin, call away, jump shot. Nicely made by Malone.
Nice job of ball faking there by Karl Malone as Gary Payton went by. You take it, no, I'll keep it, and then I'll knock down this shot. The Lakers go up by 12 on Fox Sports Net. Lakers leading the Pacers 53-41, 9:43 to go in the third. To be successful, you got to connect on time, and the direct connect was from Devin George to Shaquille O'Neal, and that was definitely on time. Nice pass, the nice finish. The Lakers go up by a dozen, force the Pacers into the timeout.
Indiana comes in with the league's best overall record at 14-2. They're perfect out on the road, 7-0. The Lakers 13-3, perfect here at home. The Pacers, the only perfect team on the road. The Lakers have company in that category at home, both Dallas and Sacramento. Equally good at 9-0 as well. Anderson comes out of the backcourt, Payton on him, and Gary was doing a lot of talking during that timeout. That's not a news flash. Maybe he feels that Indiana is really vulnerable at this stage of the game. O'Neal backing that down. He gets it on the repost from Miller. Kobe comes over to help. Shaq comes over to help as well. Got a piece of it. Karl Malone thought he was hit about the face and giving the official the stink eye, and now sharing a little bit of a thought with him. The ball goes into Shaquille. 13 on the shot clock. O'Neal comes over to double team. Malone given all kinds of space. That was going to be way wide left, and the rebound is taken by Anderson away from Payton. Indiana's got numbers.
Did somebody open the door on that?
Yeah, they must have. That thing was way wide left. Shot is missed from the perimeter. Miller's got it back, and he throws it right to Kobe. The Lakers were going to have numbers, so Anderson, that is Kenny Anderson, played a couple years at Georgia Tech for Bobby Crimmins. He takes the foul.
That's a good foul by Kenny Anderson. Yep. Very good fouls. Even though it's his third, it prevents an easy one. As Shaquille, with those 3 personal fouls, comes from the weak side on the previous play by the Pacers to reject the shot by Jermaine.
Ball turned over by the Lakers, looking for Payton on the backdoor cut. Here comes Anderson. Jermaine O'Neal sets up down in the low post. George maybe stays on that side a little bit to help. Kick pass. Oh, a nice steal. George has got it, looking for somewhere to go. Nice steal again by Payton.
This is, I mean, I thought the third quarter and second half would be a lot cleaner, but they started this third quarter out, both teams, the way they ended the first.
Yeah, you're going to have to burn this videotape. Devin George has that one rim in and out. Another rebound taken by O'Neal. The shooting percentages aren't terrible. It's just been there's so many turnovers, there's just no flow to the game. Artest wants to use that 250 pounds to get down in the lane, and a bumping foul going to be called on Devin George.
Artest does a real good job of creating the contact in his favor. That's a real good job of creating that foul on Devin George. Artest trying to sell the official on the fact that he was shooting. They said, no, you were passing, so we ball out of bounds sideline.
Second personal foul on Devin George, both Lakers and Pacers with 2 team fouls. Reggie Miller looking inbound. Comes to O'Neal. Reggie now in his 17th NBA season. He's 38 years of age. Artest has got it. Stutter step, 5 on the shot clock. Pull up, jump shot, no hand in the face. And that door still must be open, Stu. Here comes Payton. Go to Devin George. The little shovel pass went right by Devin, maybe a little bit too low.
It was low, but it was definitely, in my mind, catchable. I don't know if Devin took his eye off of it, getting ready to decide what kind of a dunk he was going to do, but those are the kind of opportunities that Jim Clemens was talking about. You get a turnover, you got to take advantage of them in transition.
That play kind of epitomizes this game so far. Artest pull up, jump shot, no. Nice rebound by Shaquille. If you're just joining us, Shaq only able to play 5 minutes of the first half when he picked up 3 personal fouls in the first quarter. Here comes Payton backing down on Anderson, still backing down. Gets in the lane and uses the jump hook. Smart play.
GP, I talked about it in the first half, one of the very best at the point guard position in the post, and that forces Rick Carlisle into yet another timeout, and there's still 7:22 to go in the third quarter. Lakers go up by 14. Kenny Anderson's hollering help on Fox Sports Net.
Andre Aldridge from our NBA TV studios. Kings and the Nets at Arco Arena, and the Nets having all kinds of trouble in getting in this one, although Rodney Rogers with a big 3, although they're down by 12 still after that. A 15-point deficit for them. They were down 32 at halftime. Now Peja Stojakovic doing just what he does. Unbelievable game for him as the Kings go on to take it 105-92. 25 for Stojakovic. Nice double-double for Brad Miller with 11 rebounds and 20 points in the contest, offsetting that 23-point performance by Rodney Rogers of New Jersey. Don't forget, folks, 1 a.m. Eastern, Rick Kamla has Gatorade Virtual GM for you. That's every night here at 1 a.m. on NBA TV. Now back to Stu and Sunday in L.A. with the Lakers leading the pace now.
February 2nd. By Jack in the Box, which now accepts MasterCard and Visa at most restaurants. And by Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. Welcome back to Staples Center, everybody. The Lakers now with our largest lead of the game at 55-41. One other game out of town. 7:22 remaining in this one, Stu.
Well, New Jersey went to the Sacramento Kings home court, and that's not a good place to go. Sac now 10-0 at home as they win 105-92.
That is in the third period. Here comes Miller. Kobe out on him. Al Harrington, certainly a big factor in the first half, gets a wide open jump shot and makes that. That's the easiest shot he's had all night.
Well, the Lakers tried to double up and get the ball out of Reggie's hands. They did that, but no rotation to pick up. Al Harrington.
Harrington's got 16. Shaq, the little head fake. Harrington is guarding Shaq. Now Kobe for three.
Well, it doesn't matter who is guarding Shaq for them, really, because they're going to all need help. I think what they're trying to do now is force Shaquille to have to play some defense on somebody on the other end.
Kobe comes around, fights around the screen. Miller threw up an air ball.
And the crowd lets him hear about it, but come on, you know enough of Reggie's history. Don't let him hear about it, because that's what spurs him on.
What a great career he has had. 4 years at UCLA, their third all-time leading scorer. Kobe gets in the lane. Indiana showing some zone now. Payton pulls up. No, nice rebound taken by Harrington. Lakers hustle back. Oh, watch out. Payton almost had a steal. That gives Indiana numbers if they want it. Now Payton back in the mix.
That's when you have to talk. When you go for a steal, now you're mismatched. You got to do a lot of talking.
Jermaine O'Neal misses that. Harrington takes the offensive rebound, and Malone's got the steal. Kicks it quickly into the middle. The Lakers looking to run. Back to Malone. Malone lost it. Somehow it found its way to Shaquille. Oh, he missed the layup, but it'll be 2 free throws.
Oh, I tell you. Defense starts it all, and the Lakers got out in transition, and the big fella said, hey, I got a lot of energy left as the ball was tipped away by Malone, and Shaquille said, yeah, I haven't played much, so let me get into this transition game and see if I can get an easy one. Gets fouled, go to the line, and shoot two. Big fellas, what is it from the free throw line, 3 out of 6?
That was the 4th personal foul on Jermaine O'Neal. And Shaq, in his first game back on Friday night, after missing a couple of games against San Antonio, was 3 for 9 from the free throw line. Tonight, 3 for 7. So his difficulties continue.
Well, that's where the rust will be the most for Shaquille. I mean, you won't see a lot of rust in his offensive game because of the way he plays. But from the free throw line, I think you'll see the most.
Anthony Johnson back on, played well in the first half, but as you pointed out, Stu's been playing very well for this team of late. Outside to O'Neal, once again, 17-footer, good again.
See, that's what they want to do. They want to force Shaquille to have to play Jermaine O'Neal away from the basket.
Jermaine now with 14. 5:35 remaining in the third. The Lakers' lead is 58-45. Indiana staying in that zone. Payton down the lane, kicks it out to George. Good close out by Harrington. Ball. Kobe went up the trees to get. Oh, what a pass! What a play by Kobe.
Oh, that's just sensational basketball. You talk about share the wealth. First of all, to get that ball that was tipped, and then to see the big fella with the hook pass.
I know I've said it before, and I'll probably say it 1,000 times more. How in the world did he do that? Both plays. O'Neal with it, working on another O'Neal, and the bumping foul inside called on a protesting Karl Malone.
They tried to throw the ball into the big fella across court. It was tipped. Somehow Kobe ended up with it, and he does a remarkable job of finding a hook pass to Shaquille for the assist. That's just good basketball.
Second personal foul on the mailman. That's the third team foul on the Lakers now, matching the Pacers in that area. 4:55 remaining in the third. Miller's got it, threw up an air ball. His last shot, Jermaine O'Neal looking for cutters, got to shoot it. Fall away jump shot, not close. Good rebound by Malone. Malone now with 11 rebounds. Here comes Payton, kicks out to Kobe. Can he make another three? Came up a little bit short. Shaq there for the tip. Had it momentarily. Indiana now with numbers. Johnson clears to the corner. Artest thought about the three. Now finds Johnson. Good pass inside to Al Harrington as Johnson cuts through the lane. Harrington, double team, skip pass out to Johnson, now to Artest, who takes a deep three-pointer. Malone now with a dozen rebounds.
Well, the mailman's doing his job of cleaning up the glass, that's for sure. He is cleaning the glass and getting the Lakers started into transition, and that's Gary Payton's game there. Give me the ball and let me turn on the afterburners. He gets fouled. He'll be going to the line to shoot a pair, and the Lakers up by 15 as Reggie Miller takes a seat.
And Karl Malone, still as active as he has been through this stretch, as active as he's been since the beginning of the season, still playing with not 100% right hamstring. Payton up and good on the free throw. And Tuesday, the Los Angeles Kings return to the ice to take on the St. Louis Blues. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Net. The Kings struggling a little bit with some injuries, but maybe get healthy and they'll get back in the playoff mix once again. Payton's short on the second free throw, I should say, but got a bounce, so he makes both, and the Lakers now lead it 62-45.
That's why it's so important to have the proper arch on your shot. If it's a flat shot and you're short, you have no chance of that. But if it's a nice arch, you get that shooting bounce.
Johnson gets down the lane, finds Shaquille O'Neal, kicks it back out to Artest for another long-range three. Shaq skies for the rebound. It's tipped. A lot of traffic in there, a lot of active blue jerseys. Here comes Artest, gets in the lane, finding some space, plays it right into the bottom of the rim. Comes out to Pollard. Malone hits it. The mailman delivers it to Devin George. Back to Payton. Where are you going to go? Find the Malone. 17. Oh, it rattled in and out.
Oh, the crowd wanted that one in a big way. They were on their feet for that one. That really would have been it.
Johnson comes back to Scott Pollard. Pollard in the game now for Foster. Here comes Harrington. Kobe goes over to help. Off the backboard, no. Indiana's missing some shots, and the Lakers, Indiana getting a lot of credit for their defense this year, Stu. You take San Antonio, and this first half and then into this third quarter, some pretty good defense by the Lakers.
Well, the Lakers getting it done right now on both ends. Their crowd on their feet, letting them know how happy they are about it on Fox Sports Net.
O'Neal and the Indiana Pacers on their first extensive West Coast swing. The first stop here at Staples Center. They trail the Lakers 62-45. Upcoming schedule for the Lakers at San Antonio. So 3 of the 4 regular season games against San Antonio out of the way. At Dallas again, and then back home versus Utah, New York, and Dallas. Another interesting stretch. Utah playing very, very well. Are you surprised by how successful they have been, like you are about Denver?
Yeah, I am. I think Jerry Sloan is again showing what kind of a coach he is. He's getting the job done. When you lose the 2 caliber of players that they lost this year, John Stockton and Karl Malone, for them to be playing as well as they're playing, I know it always opens the doors for other younger players to produce, but still, I'm a little bit surprised.
Utah currently at 9-6, and they were picked by most experts to finish either last or next to last in the Western Conference, and they're going to finish way above that. Already a number of quality wins this year. Andre Kirilenko, Matt Harpring in particular playing well as the Laker crowd getting into this one. 3:22 remaining in the third. The Lakers now have extended their lead to 17.
Now this is the stretch right here where they've got to continue to apply the pressure, push this lead even further.
Indiana shown zone the last 3 or 4 possessions outside to Payton. George wanted Shaq. Artest down inside, battling in the middle of that zone. Kobe spins, finds Devin George wide open, 3-pointer off the front of the iron. Malone there for another rebound. What a play! He's got Shaq. Put it away.
That was muscle. And a lot of it by the 2 bigs for the Lakers. The first exhibition of it was Malone's rebound over Jermaine O'Neal. He does a remarkable job, but when you're playing a zone, you don't have man responsibilities for rebounding. You have floor responsibility, and people sneak in on you. And then the pass on the inside to Shaquille, and he really did the damage, but the whistle had already sounded, so there will be no shot. Shaq will be going to the line to shoot 2.
Ron Artest was trying as hard as he could. He had a hold of Shaq's right arm. You barely noticed it as he threw that down, and Artest very, very strong. Shaq needs a couple of bounces and gets it to go from the free throw line.
The mailman, after having a triple-double against the Spurs, he's back at it again in a couple of categories. What's he got here? 11 points and 14 rebounds. But I got to talk. I guess Gary Payton talked to him and said, I'm the assist king on this team. Give me the ball. You do the rebounding. I'll let you score. But I don't want any more of these triple doubles.
And Gary's getting his way tonight. Both free throws up and good by Shaquille. One more note on the mailman. With that triple-double, he becomes the oldest player in NBA history to ever record a triple-double.
Well, there's going to be some to say he's just the oldest player in NBA history. But he doesn't play like anywhere near unbelievable play.
Jermaine O'Neal, tough all-the-way jump shot. Shaq got another piece of that wrestling match inside, and Ron Artest gets the left-handed layup to go, and he's fouled by Devin George.
That's just outstanding work by Ron Artest, because he was battling with not only Devin George, he was battling with Gary Payton as well, as Shaq got a piece of the shot by Jermaine O'Neal. And there's Artest battling, using that left hand, hitting the and one, going to the line. If he can stop some of the bleeding for the Pacers. He's got 3 points coming into this game. 19. Make it 4 points, but this game is still 14 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
Averages 19 on the year, Stu, so you can see what the Lakers did to him, like they did to Tim Duncan. 3 for 10 shooting. Tony Parker, almost every key player for San Antonio held under their average.
Well, the zone, if you pass the ball quick in the zone, I mean, first of all, you're going to get a lot of good shots. But secondly, you just wear the defenders out. They can, no way in the world can they run as fast as that ball can be passed.
And Devin George got a run at that one from the weak side, almost got another offensive rebound. Jones with it, working against Gary Payton, comes around to screen. Payton cuts him off. Outside to Johnson, long three-pointer. Indiana really struggling from outside the arc tonight. Just 1 of 12 from three-point range.
When you're 1 of 12, you might want to look to another shot. I mean, you don't have to settle for the 3.
Inside to Shaq. There comes the double team. The running traditional hook came up well short. Rebound taken by Harrington.
I still like to see him taking that shot. I like to see him making the defense aware that this is another weapon I have in my arsenal.
O'Neal comes up to the pinch post, sets a screen. George fights through that. Indiana looks a little out of sync offensively. Artest on the dribble. 5 on the shot clock. A long two-pointer. That's a brick. And an easy play to call. Fred Jones just pushed Derek Fisher right off the end of the court.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and he did the right thing, too. He just dropped the ball, walked to the other end. He said, got caught. Simple as that. I tried it, got caught.
Second personal foul on Jones. And so Derek Fisher will come to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Horace Grant at the scorer's table will be in at the next opportunity.
And that seems like that'll be for Shaquille O'Neal, as Derek, 85% free thrower this year. His career high is 85%. So a good guy to send to the line when you need some points. Right now, the Lakers are sitting on a nice cushion, so everything now becomes gravy.
Horace Grant comes in, and he is coming in to replace Karl Malone.
And he gets a look at the crowd giving his props. Well deserved, Karl. Well deserved. Same crowd that used to just, every time he walked on the floor, they booed him out of the building when he was with the Utah Jazz. But as soon as he put on that Laker uniform with 11 points, 15 rebounds a night, they said, all right, we'll forgive you as long as you keep playing the way you have been in your career.
Fisher, second free throw in the air, also good. Derek was really struggling from the floor for a while, but as we all knew he would, he went through a stretch. He was 4 for 24. Well, now he's made 9 out of his last 13 coming in. Johnson with it. Lakers really playing good defense. Pollard sets a screen. Jones back up top to Harrington, guarded by Devin George. Into the corner. Jones gets away from Payton, and there's Shaq. Near turnover. Harrington's got it. 4 on the shot clock. The floater in the lane, no. Offensive foul against Al Harrington as Devin George stepped in to take the contact.
I mean, he saw an opening. He being Al Harrington, there was an opening, so he flies into the opening, leaves his feet. There's Devin sitting and waiting. Al, you got to remember, what goes up must come down when you leave your feet. Come down somewhere, and it was right in the chest. Devin George.
19 turnovers on the offensive foul now for Indiana. 50 seconds remaining in the third. Shaq backing down inside. Fall away jump shot, needed a roll and got it. And looking for the foul.
Yeah, big fella, you know they play double standard with you. That's not a foul for you.
Shaq now has 15, 10 in the quarter. Harrington with it, working one-on-one. 10 on the shot clock, still working. The ball is loose.
illegal D.
I thought they were going to call a 5-second violation. I thought that's pretty quick.
Last basket by Shaquille is working on Scott Pollard and everybody else. And throws up a nice soft touch and says, "Where's the foul?" Big fella, you know those balls. I'm not even expecting those balls.
Yeah, Scott Pollard comes in at only 6'11", 265. I mean, he's just a little fella. They got to give him some advantage. Free throw up and good by Johnson. The Lakers lead it 68-49.
I've talked to Shaquille a lot about it, and I told him I've searched the rule book all over. I just can't find the section where it says that you get penalized for being bigger and stronger than the opposition. There's no leveling the playing field.
At least not in the book. Johnson with it on the perimeter. 9 on the shot clock. Comes around the screen. Nice pass to Harrington. Fisher goes over to help on that. Now Harrington having a nice night for Indiana.
Yeah, without Al Harrington's input or output tonight, where would they be? Because he kept them as close as they were in the first half.
18 points now for Harrington in just 25 minutes on 7 of 11. Shot clock and game clock virtually even. Horace Grant thought about coming on the weave, and Payton said, "No, clear out." He wants to go to Shaq on the lob. The play was there. Looking for Shaq still. 2 seconds, 1 second. Follow-away jump shot over the top of the rim in the quarter comes to an end.
Well, the Lakers did the job they needed to do in the third quarter. They expanded upon their lead. Now they need to close the deal. They've got 12 more minutes of action to go. Oh, that's right. There was a discrepancy on the shot clock, game clock. So if there was a 24-second violation, the quarter cannot be over. For all intent and purposes, it's over. They got to go 94 feet in 4/10 of a second. So all they're going to do is inbound it. Here's the win. That's what they need.
Now that the books are square,
can we sell something now? We've got a lot to sell in a short period of time. I think we can get it done on Fox Sports Net. Paul, Lakers up 68-51 and shooting the ball pretty well, 44%. That's all right. Holding the Pacers to 37% shooting, and all those turnovers by the Pacers. Wow, and they need to stop shooting the three-point shot because that's just like a turnover. 1 out of 12, that's a turnover.
The Lakers doing a much better job defending the three-point line, Stu. The Pacers came in the 4th best three-point shooting team so far this year in the NBA at almost 38%. Shaq down inside, turns on Pollard, puts the ball back over his head to Derek Fisher. Will set the lineups to start the 4th quarter for you when you have a moment. You know, Shaq down inside, fouled hard. 2 free throws coming.
Big fella's working, I tell you. He said, only play me 5 minutes in the first half because of fouls, will you? I'm going to go to work here in the second. 2 defenders there. He gets the rebound despite those 2 bigs. And one of those, Scott Pollard, then gets fouled, goes back to the charity strike. Boy, he's been there a lot tonight. Is that 10 times?
10 attempts
wow.
in very few minutes overall, as everyone has seen. Boy, that one was very flat.
Margin for error was 0. That shot had to be perfect, which it was.
Derek Fisher out there with Kobe. Brian Russell with that big 3 to end the first half, and Shaq a nice arch makes them both, and Horace Grant, that's the group that starts for the Lakers wearing their Sunday white uniform. Shaq now with 17. He had 10 in the 3rd period. Johnson comes around the screen. Here comes Jones. Johnson looking for it again inside to Harrington. Harrington, the leading scorer in the game. Runs right over Brian Russell. Came up short. The ball's loose, deflected out of bounds. It'll belong to Indiana.
Well, he loves to spin back. As Brian Russell explained to the official that I anticipated that spin, and he lowered the shoulder into my chest and knocked me down. The official said that was a flop.
3 Lakers in double figures. Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal. Harrington working again, turns over that shoulder, follow-away jump shot, not close, the ball is loose. Kobe was looking for it. Russell comes out of the pack. Russell with it, decides to flare off to the right side, didn't have numbers, smart play. Just underway here in the 4th and final period. Paul Sunderland with Stu Lance and Bill McDonald on the sideline. Shaq holding it, just lays it. Oh, I thought he missed that, Stu. He laid it right up and in.
did a good job of patience there. They sent a double team man, then backed it off. And they tried to get the ball out of Shaq's hands, but he wasn't having anything to do with that.
72-51. Outside to Austin Crozier. One left-handed dribble, and Shaq easily erases that, but it goes to Scott Pollard, who just as easily lays it in.
You want to make a big stop helping you on dribble penetration? Don't have someone come over and cover his man, and his man get an easy one. They'll stop helping you.
Shaq with deep position, the pass inside, and Pollard has no alternative but to grab Shaquille.
I like that number that Scott Pollard wears. I'm trying to remember all the NBA greats that wore 62.
I was trying to figure the significance, and I even went so far as to look in the Pacers book. And Scott Pollard is a free bird, if you will. It probably has no reason or rhyme as Brian Russell lays it in off the good pass.
He probably wishes he was 6'2", so
he wouldn't have to guard Shaq.
Yep. All bigs want to be guards, and all guards want to be bigs.
Johnson still on the dribble. Good rotation by the Lakers. Outside to Pollard. Doesn't want to shoot it from there. And his coaches don't want to either. Crozier, the head fake into the lane and throws it down.
Yeah, when he turns and faces up, obviously he creates a lot of problems because he's a good shooter. And you have to respect that.
74-55, the Lakers lead it. Kobe down with it in the low post. Shaq cuts to the basket. Kobe a little bit of a soft double team. Johnson thinking about helping because he doesn't want to get too far off. Derek Fisher hits the three.
It's raining baskets here in the Staples Center for the Lakers. Not so for the Pacers as they now trail by 22.
Fisher now with 7, and yet another consecutive blowout. Austin Crozier.
They were going to call I think they were going to call an illegal defense, but they count the basket instead. Wipe off the wipe off the 3-second violation defensively. Give Austin a 3-point basket.
So back-to-back baskets by Austin Crozier, a local product. If you weren't with us earlier, when he made his first appearance, went to Crossroads High School before going back east to play college basketball at Providence. Been with Indiana his entire career. Looking inside to Shaq. Shaq clears the lane. Back to the basket, 12 on the shot clock. Fisher just made a long three-pointer, goes back inside to Shaquille. Double team is there almost. Shaq turns off the back iron, rebound by Crozier.
I like it when Shaq gives those little subtle head fakes left and right. That the defender reacts to that.
Johnson pull-up jump shot, back-to-back threes, and the Lakers lead is down to 16.
22 trips ago, now 16.
Jones guarding Kobe, crossover dribble. Kobe goes behind his back, gets in traffic, looking for somewhere to go. Pretty good spot. Can Fisher make another three?
Yes! Kobe did all of that to set up D-Fish. Did he? Well, he found him, that's for sure.
Fisher now with 10 down inside. Pollard lays it up and in, and the foul is called against Russell.
Well, it's either 3-point baskets or 3-point plays the last couple of minutes. That has to stop, guys. The Lakers now lead it 80-63 on Fox Sports Net.
With the call.
Bill McDonald back at Staples Center in the fourth quarter with the Lakers holding an advantage and an old face right here at Staples Center, and a nemesis of the Lakers back in the 80s, DJ Dennis Johnson now scouting for Portland. DJ, what strikes you about this Laker team that makes them difficult to beat?
Well, quite obvious. You have guys like Shaq, Kobe, Karl Malone, Gary Payton. When they signed them two, they made their whole unit just, I would say, complete. You know, you got a team full of stars, but you got a team full of stars who produce.
Any way to compare this team to the Showtime era of the 80s? Because you guys had some wonderful brawls, the Celtics and the Lakers.
I would, you know what, I really wouldn't say so, only because I still think that's the best basketball that's been played. And the Lakers of the 80s can get up and run. They can really run. This team doesn't run as good or as well as the 80s did, but that overall this team is tough.
It's good to see you. We wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot.
DJ Dennis Johnson, back to you, Paul.
Pepperdine graduate before going on and having a wonderful NBA career, and those were some real battles between the 80s Lakers and 80s Celtics. Inside to Shaq. As we approach the 8-minute mark, Shaq backing down, turns inside. Oh, nice move by Shaquille.
Nice drop step without committing the offensive foul. The big fella, he's got those 3 fouls, but he's being smart now.
Shaq's got 21. Gets that one out of there, but a goaltending will be called.
That's why bigs like to stand by the basket and let anybody come to them. Johnson stopped in no man's land, so if what Shaquille would have done, step forward and make that jump, he probably would have got a block shot because he just waited and made the block attempt. Goaltender.
And if you're wondering about Shaq's physical condition and that right sore calf, I think that's a pretty good indication that he's feeling much, much better after having to miss a couple of games before coming back on Friday night. That foul against Austin Crozier. The Lakers will have it. 16 on the shot clock, 7:38 remaining.
Well, the guy that's been carrying this team, Al Harrington, just picked up his 5th personal foul, so really going to go for some production once he ends up on the pond.
Indiana had shown some zone at times, and now they do as well. Horace Grant not ready for that pass. Kicks a dangerous one outside to Fisher. 5 on the shot clock. Back to Horace. Doesn't want to shoot it. Bryant Russell sure does. Threw up an air ball. Shaq will take control of that.
Why did the shot clock they reset the shot clock? Are they saying that that shot by Russell touched the rim? Looked like an air ball, didn't it?
I thought it was an air ball for sure, Stu.
All it has to do is graze the rim.
That foul will be called on Kobe Bryant, who was out harassing Fred Jones. Lakers lead it 84-66.
Well, Russell was shooting to beat the clock, and his shot was off the mark. I don't think it touched the rim. Oh, Shaq tipped it. I see what they did. Yeah, Shaq went for the air ball, touched it. It went up and hit the rim. Then he got it back and scored.
Lakers have been blowing out opponents with regularity. You go back to the last 5 games before this one, the Lakers have won by an average of 19.5 points per game.
The key now, though, is they've established that they can win here at home. They have to show that they can go out on the road and blow teams away. That's when you know you've got that total package as a ball club. Not just win games at home and struggle on the road, but go out and cause some damage on their floor.
Right now, the Lakers are just 4-3. Austin Crozier runs through the chest of Derek Fisher. 4-3 out on the road. Indiana will no longer be unbeaten on the road. They'll get their first road loss tonight, although still plenty of time left. They trail it by 18.
One thing about D. Fisher, he will sacrifice his body. Well, he does it time in, time out. There was no flop there. He got ran right over.
Still in the zone is Indiana. They've shown it a lot. Oh, nice pass. Inside, Shaq lost that ball. Kobe gave him a good pass. I know it's football Sunday, but that ball punted out of there, and Rick Carlisle is about 10 feet onto the floor. Lay it up and in by Horace Grant.
The Pacers say, how are we going to do it? They kicked the basketball, and the Fisher looks at him and says, well, he didn't kick it on purpose. At least I didn't think he did. So they allow the basket. Indiana coach Rick Carlisle just shakes his head and says, I don't know what we can do with this team. They're up by 20, and they're on Fox Sports Net. Well, the Lakers leading 86-66, and the play that made Rick Carlisle mad before the timeout was, he said, Shaquille O'Neal kicked the basketball. Watch Shaq's foot coming out of the right side of your picture. Boom! Soccer! Field goal attempt. I'd say he kicked it. Just about, he should have been playing for some NFL team today. And when he kicks it, he kicks it.
Rick Carlisle had plenty to complain about. The Lakers come back out. Slava Medvedenko on the floor now. Shaq finished for the evening. 23 points, just 5 rebounds. Struggled from the free throw line. Equal number of points and minutes played. Plagued by foul trouble throughout the first half. Also on the floor is Kareem Rush, who continues to shoot the ball exceptionally well. And the Lakers need that added punch off the bench. Touch foul. Derek Fisher working on Kenny Anderson.
You know, we talked about how sloppy this game was, especially in the first half when the Lakers had 10 turnovers. Then they started the third quarter not very neatly. They've got 3 this half, and I believe all 3 of those came just about in the first part of the third quarter.
And Indiana, in spite of the fact that they're losing by such a wide margin, has done for their part a little bit better. Primoz Brezic out of Slovenia turns down inside, 7'1", 240-pounder, 3rd year in the league, 24 years of age. He'll shoot a couple of free throws. On the floor for Indiana, Anderson, Jones, Brezic at the free throw line, along with Pollard and Austin Crozier at a couple of quick baskets. 6:09 remaining. The Lakers lead is still 86-66. Our next Lakers telecast on Fox Sports Net will be next Sunday, December 7th, as the Lakers take on the Utah Jazz. Make no mistake, they're playing very good basketball. And don't miss what should be an emotional game for Karl Malone playing against the team he was with for 18 seasons. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock with Lakers Live, and obviously it will be much more emotional when Karl goes back to Utah. One made, one missed by Bryant. The Lakers lead is 19. Fisher with it, comes right side to Russell, outside to Kareem Rush. Now at the pinch post to Medvedenko, who turns and faces. Kicks that ball out to Derek. Long three-pointer, thought he made it, and Bryant nicely takes the rebound.
Now, shot clock was winding down again, so Fish had to think about taking that shot. He took it, just didn't convert it.
Anderson working on the dribble out to Crozier. 5:35 remaining. All the starters for both teams basically are on the sideline. Pull-up jump shot, doesn't get a bounce. Bryant had the rebound momentarily, and Russell throws it off his leg.
Whoosh.
A foul is going to go against Indiana as Russell was falling out of bounds because somebody about 250 pounds was giving him a little help.
You know, there are players that just have a knack of coming up with loose balls, so to speak. And Brian Russell seems to be one of those. If it's loose under the basket or anywhere near, he's a guy that can get his hands on it and come up with it.
Kareem Rush out on the perimeter, comes to Fisher, who had to take that shot against the clock. Plenty of time here for Medvedenko, who makes another one. What a beautiful stroke he has.
He's an offensive player, there's no question. On the defensive end of the floor, he's been making such strides, understanding of the game. It's nice to see.
Medvedenko 3 out of 4. Anderson misses that long rebound, comes out to Kareem Rush. Fisher with it. Stutter step, pull up, jump shot, and Derek Fisher has another basket.
Well, Rick's got free timeouts to use, and he's using them. But okay, he's only got one left. 4 minutes and 46 seconds to go. And he takes the timeout down 90-67. What a game on Fox Sports Net. Well, it seems night in and night out as Lakers are leading this game 90-67. There's somebody off the bench that you can talk about for this club. And Derek Fisher is definitely one of those. He had another buzzer beater at the end of the quarter tonight. He had one in the last game, and in the second half of this game, he's showing that beautiful stroke that he has, really getting the job done. He's got 12 points off the bench in about 18, 19 minutes, shooting 59% from the field in the last 4 games after struggling at about 24% in the previous 8. So it's nice to see players that work hard be rewarded.
Luke Walton comes on for the Los Angeles Lakers, making his first appearance of the evening, and it's been a defensive effort by the Lakers and the lack of offense by Indiana. Take your pick. Personally, I think the Lakers played very well against this team from Indiana.
Well, the Indiana bench has outscored the starters. I mean, maybe they've played that many more minutes, but they've really outscored them 36-31. Anderson draws a foul on Slava. Slava said, all I was doing was standing there. He jumps into me, and you send him to the free throw line.
The Lakers bench, speaking of which, we showed you a package on Derek Fisher where he had a dozen. They 33 points and shot the ball exceptionally well. Medvedenko's made 3 out of 4. Bryant Russell 3 out of 3. Kareem Rush making his only shot. Kenny Anderson, a free throw up and good. I thought you made a great point, Stu. The Lakers will improve to 10-0 at home, matching Sacramento, who won earlier this evening over New Jersey. We're talking about tests for these teams, or this team, and the Lakers stand at just 4-3 on the road, but going to Dallas and San Antonio.
Well, let's see how well they play. They don't have to blow Dallas out or San Antonio out, or anybody for that matter, but you have to play with some better consistency on the road. They haven't been real consistent on the road.
Nice pass to Derek Fisher, the easiest look he's had all night. Misses off the front of the iron. Jones takes the rebound. Still a lot of time left in this game. 4:05 remaining. The Lakers lead at 90-69.
The big fellas camped out in the lane.
Well, the official was so slow, Stu, in making the call. I couldn't tell if he was going to call a foul on Slava, illegal defense, or what he was going to do.
Maybe he was trying to decide too.
Multiple choice question. Karl Malone, Gary Payton looking on. Karl Malone setting the tone once again on the backboards and doing a great job, as he did on Tim Duncan the other night, with Jermaine O'Neal. Kareem rushes, got it. Can he make another shot? Wow. He's been hanging out with Brian Russell.
Well, that's a good place to hang out. If you're going to work on your game, try to hone your craft, that's good, real good.
Kareem Rush has made 7 out of his last 8 shots. Bryant backing down, turns, fall away jump shot by the 7'1" young kid out of Slovenia, and he knocks that down nicely.
He looked up at the scoreboard and said, hey, we're out of this game. I'm going to showcase some of my offensive skills now.
Kareem Rush looking inside to Medvedenko, who wants to answer. Walton has it on the pinch post. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Nice spin move by Walton. Pass to Medvedenko. Little jump hook in the lane, and of course it's good by Slava.
Luke was being defended quite well on that shot attempt, and he decided while in the air to pass it.
Medvedenko now with 8. Bryant with it once again. Medvedenko staying down, letting him take the 17-footer. No, Walton boxes out and really undercut, but got underneath Foster, and clearly a foul on Luke Walton.
Gennaro Pargo making his first appearance as Derek Fisher goes out to a nice ovation. Crowd appreciative of everything that Derek does.
2:55 remaining. The Lakers on top. Another blowout. Mentioned that they've won the last 5 games by an average of 19-5. This is going to hit that average as well. Want to remind you, as always, coming up right after the game, it's the Southern California Sports Report. Lakers interviews, what happened tonight with the Kings and Ducks, highlights there, and of course another big week in the NFL. 13-week recap. Lindsey Soto will be in the locker room getting a word with Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. Both free throws good. Medvedenko is pushed, no doubt about that. 2 hands in the back there.
Good read by Slava. He was being defended with a lot of pressure from the back. And when a player defensively is leaning on you that much, and you can feel the pressure, the amount of pressure that's on your back, you know if you can spin left or right.
So the Lakers will improve to 14-3. The Pacers will fall to 14-3. So they will share the NBA's best record. Talking about the Lakers' upcoming schedule: San Antonio on Wednesday and Dallas on Thursday. Again, this is the first extended trip for the Pacers as Medvedenko makes both free throws. They're at Phoenix tomorrow and then go to Portland, Seattle, and Sacramento. So we'll see where they are at the end of this road trip. 4 games, 8 days. Anderson working against Medvedenko, cut off there. 2:35 remaining in this one. A lot of the crowd headed for the exits. Anderson pull up, jump shot. Walton had a nice block out, couldn't control the rebound, but ruled off of Foster, so the Lakers will have it.
Nice effort, though, by Luke.
Yep.
He was boxing out and then traveled a few feet to try to get the rebound. Good effort.
If you're wondering about the condition of Rick Fox, continues to improve, starting to scrimmage 5-on-5. He was playing 2-on-2 before this evening's game. Ugly looking play by the Lakers.
Well, that happened because Kareem Rush got in the way of Brian Russell's move. And
well, I told you they've been hanging out. Between them, they haven't missed a shot in a week. Anderson with it on the wing, goes on the dribble. Foster kicks into the corner to Crozier. He's played pretty well. As you say, Stu, he's playing some more under Rick Carlisle after completely getting out of the rotation. Nice deflection defensively by Luke Walton. 7 on the shot clock. Indiana will have it on the side.
2 minutes and 2 seconds left to go in the ball game. The Lakers have been comfortably ahead for a while. So if they can just play this game pretty clean the rest of the way, by not committing silly fouls, we might get out.
Anderson working against the shot clock, so there's silly foul number 1 as he forced the contact against Gennaro Pargo.
Well, come up with the player of the game, the Gatorade player of the game, and it's the mailman delivered again. 11 points and 15 rebounds in 31 minutes. He is player of the game.
So going back to San Antonio earlier in the year at the SBC Center, 19 rebounds. Carl has had games of 14, 15, and 18 rebounds already so far this year. Came in the league's 9th best.
Well, he said he wanted the experience playing with a big man, and it does make things a little easier for you when you're playing with Shaquille O'Neal.
Free throws both good by Anderson. To recap, the Lakers led it by 6 after 1. They led it half by 9 and then blew it open again in the third period, extending that lead to 17. Most of the damage being done by Shaq, who couldn't play basically in the first half. Kick it outside to Russell. Boy, that one wasn't close.
It's about as bad a miss as he's had in a while, but it doesn't matter. It counts as a miss, whether it's close or off the mark.
Jones wants to go inside to Bryant, working for the most part against Medvedenko at 7-1. Kicks it outside to Anderson. Pull up 19-foot jump shot is good, and the Lakers lead is 97-78.
Kenny Anderson's always had a flat shot. His trajectory has always been rather flat, especially in his young days.
Kareem Rush comes up short. Mentioned that Indiana had been struggling with their offense after Anderson made that jump shot. They put 78 on the scoreboard. They just changed it to 77. And that's right, by the way. Crozier goes down the lane and throws up an air ball from about 5 feet. So with 58.8 seconds remaining, the Lakers can look ahead and think about San Antonio and Dallas. And we've been talking for years now, it seems, Stu, about how poor the East is. Is this the best that they have to offer? And I mean that with no disrespect, but the score is the score.
Record-wise, this is the best team in the league coming into this game. But at the same time, you have to consider who you play the majority of your games against. And if you're playing against a weaker conference, and I think it's safe to say that the Western Conference has more power in it than the East. So your record's a little bit misleading.
Indiana came in 10-2 against the East. They were 4-0 against the Western Conference. Those wins over Denver, Seattle, the Clippers, and Minnesota.
Where was that Minnesota game?
That was in Indiana, and so was the Clippers.
And when the Lakers go to Indiana, believe me, they are going to see a much different Indiana Pacer team.
Gennaro Parker by the and Kareem Rush, the beneficiary of a nice lob pass. 99-77, another big win by the Lakers.
That got the players from the Lakers up off the bench. They like that one.
Well, this game is going to be dribbled out, so Indiana comes west for the first time in an extended road trip, and they drop their first road loss of the season. The Lakers have now won 24 in a row at home, and they go to 10-0 at home. And Karl Malone, I thought, set the tone again, Stu, particularly with Shaq in foul trouble.
He did the job on the boards, but again, it's this total team effort that the Lakers are getting, especially on the defensive end.
That's where you win. That's where you win championships. Once again, the final score, the Lakers 99, the Pacers 77. For Stu Lance and Bill McDonald, I'm Paul Sutherland saying goodnight. Now stay tuned for the Southern California Sports Report.